because you are ambitious. One thing about you is you wanted the car you wanted, which is not, a WRX isn't the cheapest car you can get. You know that, right? It's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
And you don't care. You're working hard to pay your payments. You pay your own payments. You pay your own insurance. When you pay your own gas, right? So you do all that, which I'm very proud of you. And I think it's pretty cool that you're ambitious enough to see what you want and then go after it. So that's my question. Is that something you learned? Is that something you feel like is just I mean, we talked about when you were born, when you wanted something, you figured out a way to get it. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's just wired in you.
I feel like it is kind of wired in me, but also just I feel like growing up and like since I'm the oldest, I watched you and Mom work hard like with your business, and you guys always talk about how like we haven't like seen you guys very much. Like I feel like Bridger and Daughter didn't get to see very much of you guys like growing your business, but I feel like me and Sailor kind of saw more of it, and I think that's helped me.
Okay, that's good to know. So what do you remember? Because you were still little when we were building our business. So talk about that a little bit if you would. Like what do you remember about those years? Because really for the most part, Mom was in our office running it full time before she had you. Mm-hmm. And then she had you and she was able to be home most of the time, but she still worked too, right? She still worked to help our business out. Any specific things you remember about building our financial business that stick out to you that you go, man, talk about that a little bit.
I feel like like Mom would always bring me to the meetings, and so I'd always be like a part of those. And then I remember my first steps or something was like in one of your meetings, and I remember everyone cheering me on after I...
Do you remember that?
Yeah, kind of.
That's amazing. So how old were you when you took your first step? You were
I was
like
2?
2.5, 2? I don't know. I do remember that. I just don't remember how old you were. But I do remember that. You took your first steps in the office, everybody cheered you on. That is true. Yep. Because you were like the you were the little baby in the room. Well, that's good. So do you remember me being gone a lot? Do you remember anything like that? I actually wasn't gone a whole lot when you were, because by the time we had you, I was still doing appointments and helping out, but I wasn't doing I was around a lot too.
Yeah.
What do you remember any of that very much? You were pretty little.
Yeah, not really.
Yeah. And Sailor, so your sister, the younger sister, she was, I remember bringing her to like the convention. We brought you to the convention too, the big primary conventions. And we actually would have our office manager, Jamaica, watch you guys while we went to some of the meetings. I don't know if you remember some of those things. I think she took either you or Jamaica, I can't remember, to the aquarium and stuff in Atlanta. Do you remember any of that? That might have been Sailor.
I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember.
That was a long time ago. That was, 13, 14, 15 years ago. So it's hard to remember that. So, okay. So you feel like you learned some of that work ethic then. What's our lifestyle like today? Is that something that you see? I mean, we're very blessed. We live in a great neighborhood, good neighbors. We do have quite a bit of freedom to do what we want to do, right? We still try to be conservative with the things that we do, right? We try to make sure we're not too crazy with, trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. But we do have, a nice life, and we do have nice cars and things like that we drive to make life, I guess, more nice. Any of that stuff stick out to you? Do you notice that? Because you've kind of always grown up in this, in this kind of. Do you talk about that a little bit? What do you anything you learn from that?
Just like just our lifestyle?
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I feel like I never saw you and Mom ever at a low point. I feel like we've always been pretty successful and everything, but I don't know.
What do you mean by low point?
Just there's never been a time where you guys have tried been low on money or couldn't afford or anything or be able to pay off anything.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah. So the financial stress hasn't ever been there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, good. And is that something that you see and that you want to have for your life?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think it's one of the things that keeps you so ambitious to go to work every day? And where do you work right now?
Bahama Bucks.
Bahama Bucks. What is Bahama Bucks?
A snow cone shop.
So you make snow cones, and you're pretty good at it. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you were looking for jobs, talk about that a little bit, because there was one place you wanted to work, and where was that one place you wanted to work?
Bahama Bucks.
There was nowhere else it was going to do, right?
Nope.
And so you now got the job.
Mhm.
How long have you been there?
Like a year and 7 months, I think.
Okay. And are you tired of it yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, hopefully they don't hear this podcast. Are they going to listen to this?
I don't know.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to Blake edit that part out. They probably won't even listen.
I already got the scissors. I'll snip it out.
Blake says he'll snip it out right away.
Bahama Bucks just turned into Target.
So where do you want to work now if you can't work at Bahama Bucks? I mean, you're still working
Well,
there. Maybe we shouldn't
yeah.
say this publicly. You do a good job, though. You work hard.
Yeah.
So they want you there. They don't want you to leave. But if you could go anywhere else right now, what are some things you would like to do? Or what do you want to do later? Maybe you want to stay at Bahama Bucks for a little while you figure it out. What are your plans?
Well, I'm waiting for you to need me for your business stuff.
Which businesses do you want to be involved
I
with?
don't know. You always say you need me for things. You're like, oh, I don't need you yet.
Yeah. What about like filming and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Like coming on some hunts? You really want to do that? Adventure?
Well, I mean, I don't really care for hunting, but like I want to learn how to do that so I can actually like record things that I want to.
Record and edit?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been watching YouTubes on how to do all that?
Not really.
Have I asked you to do those things?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want everybody to hear that I try to train you on some of this stuff, and it takes a minute to catch on, but you'll probably catch on. Maybe. So you do want to do that. You just don't want to learn how to do it.
Yeah. But I feel like that's how I am for most things. So.
Okay.